Bad boy.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? You've tuned in live to the flyest sports and entertainment podcast in all the land. This is statlinesmatter. I'm your host, Mark Stewart, here with my partner, Rob Hunter Jr. Listen, before we get started, we would like you to like, subscribe, and get the notifications on our YouTube channel. As always, we thank y'all for checking in. Numbers are going crazy through the roof, and we appreciate you guys for it. Also, follow us across all social media platforms. That's Statline at statlinesmatter on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, and on Instagram. And of course, you can always find the audio version of our podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and any place you find your podcast. What's going on, my brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, I can't call it. How's your day been?
Hey, well, I just wanted to, he probably wouldn't say this, but congratulations to you for having the #1 song in the country for 2 weeks in a row with Break My Soul.
Well, first of all, let's clear it up for our audience a little bit. I don't have that song. I didn't create that song, but my clients did. I represent, as you may or may not know, I'm a manager of songwriters and producers and artists. And one of my producers was the producer and song co-writer on that.
So when they talk to you, do they say we have the number?
We say we.
Okay, yeah, but did they, including you?
But they don't say you.
They say we.
They say we.
Yeah,
but they don't be like, you got the song.
But I can't say we.
Right, but you can say you and the team.
Because you the only.
But yeah, I'm the only one here.
If the other one was here, I say y'all.
Yes, fair enough. But yes, congratulations to the whole team, to Trig, to my boy Dream, to Isaac, and of course Beyonce and everybody else, Frida, everybody else involved. Pretty big deal. So we appreciate y'all. Thank you for support of that record.
Hey, if I had a #1 song in the country, I'd spend a lot more air time on SLM talking about it. So that's pretty good how you wrap that.
Time and place. This is we having a conversation about sports and entertainment. That's the entertainment portion. On a more serious note, before we get into some of the I guess this is a sports story in its own right, but the brother of Aqib Talib has turned himself in for the murder of a very popular youth football coach in the Dallas, Texas area. I don't know all the specifics, but I do know that Aqib Talib has turned himself in because there was video, I believe, of him shooting a coach. There was altercations. It's weird because we're sort of in that place where people get to arguing with the refs and coaches get to arguing and people get to coming out of the stands. And I don't know all the details, but I do know it ended in the fatal shooting of a very popular coach in that region. So we want to send some love out to that area because I know those kids are traumatized.
Yeah. So this was the last thing that I prepped on before I left the house. And I was trying to find an angle. But the details are still unfolding as even as recently as I pulled up here, they had another angle of a camera angle. But the gentleman who was shot, Coach Hickman, he was the head coach of the other team, and Aqib and his brother were the coaches of the other team.
Yeah.
So they were facing off against each other, and it was at the end of the game. There was a call that I don't know if it went their way or went against them, but it obviously escalated. And not only was, did someone lose their life in front of children, but that kid lost his life. That kid lost one of the kids. That was his father.
Wow.
So Mike Hickman Jr.
Had to see all that.
9 years old.
Yeah.
Saw his father lose his life in something that is senseless. So very heartbreaking all the way around. Yeah. I mean, I can say this, like this, my kids haven't played youth sports in a long time, but I can be honest about one thing. There is nothing that's ever happened on the court or on the field when they were playing that would warrant me even coming out of the stands to talk to anybody. I'm sorry. It's like there's no real consequence to a game of 9-year-olds. I'm sorry. Even an NFL game. I'm not fighting over no NFL game. Whatever the highest level of the sport is, there should even be an altercation for people not participating and coaches going at each other. And for somebody to lose their life is saying a lot about our society, and we need to check that. And I'm not going to go any deeper, but I can tell you this: we can do better than that. Yeah.
That's unheard of to me.
Well, yeah, and we can move on, but I was thinking about I was like, this is terrible, obviously on on any level. But you're looking at Akib, who I was thinking he was a de facto leader in this particular situation. But he's an actual leader. He was the coach of the other team.
Yeah.
So you're not only you're the actual leader, but you're the biggest name there.
Yeah.
And so it's different. Like, okay, if he was there, he can't control the situation. That's your brother. So you know what, how they get down. And if you know anything about Akib, I'm fairly familiar with him because he played with Tampa. So we played him twice a year. He made it no secret that, him and his family were about, getting things done if there was a conflict. I'm sure that he didn't want this to happen. But what I'm saying is, I think he was aware that his brother was at least
capable.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm because I don't know all the facts, I'm reluctant to start to hang any of this on Akib.
I'm not hanging it on him, but what I am saying is that
because that man has to be responsible for his own actions.
You can't pull up in knowing your brother got a gun on him at a 9-year-old youth game.
But that's the problem in the culture that we are. Everybody's got a gun. Everybody's packing.
Okay, yeah, but if
you know your brother has a temper or the propensity to elevate, then you have to immediately go. But like I said, I don't know enough, but I will say this. If he knew that their family was about that life, well, now he's going to be about raising that bail and putting together that defense. Because at the end of the day, there's a video of this, and it's going to be hard to refute. And, listen, I know, like, for me, my heart goes out to the kids and to that poor young kid who lost his dad. And I don't care what play happened. I don't care what call happened. I don't care what went against who. There's nothing that should elevate to this point in the youth football.
And the dude, he went live. Have you seen that?
No.
He went live. It was either on Facebook or Instagram. So when you're looking at the footage that you see of
to Salik,
when you're looking at the footage of whoever filmed it, they went live. So you see the comments, which are blurred out, coming up as it's an actual broadcast.
Guys, we gotta do better. We got like you're going live, all of that. We gotta do better. Anyway, I don't want to spend any more of the show on that, but I do want to send our to the extent that we can be genuine about this, send our condolences.
Well, he was
to that coach and to his family and to that young boy.
The gentleman, Coach Hickman, who lost his life, he just got awarded, if you will, recognized on the all-time North Texas the Green. I think they're the Green Machine. He was their all-time team.
Wow.
So he's their starting fullback, if you will. Their first fullback, if you will, on that team.
Wow. Sad story. Anyways, on a lighter note, and everything is going to get lighter from here.
Well, then lighten it on up.
I'm going to lighten it up.
Because I need some light.
So there's rumors, or it leaked, and I'll let you tell the story more specifically, but there's a leak that Kyrie Irving asked in his contract demands, asked for a series of things that sounded a little outrageous. I'm going to let you sort of get into the specifics because I saw the story and we had a brief conversation, but I didn't do a deep dive on it, but I know you did. So go ahead and fill us in.
Well, there's not a lot of depth to the story. Basically, Rick Bucher was on a podcast. I forget the name of it, so I apologize. And he had received some information basically that the contract demands, Kyrie wants a new contract, and part of those demands allegedly was that Kyrie did not want to play more than 60 games, and he didn't want to play in any back-to-backs because he felt like it was inhumane. So
he doesn't.
Well, what, so I started.
I mean, he doesn't play 60 games, and he does. Why do you have to renegotiate your contract to do what you've been doing the last 3 or 4 years?
I guess because he don't want no when he do it, he don't want no bull job going. He don't want no. Hey, look, so everybody already know, guaranteed out the gate. Okay, come in. You ain't got how many games? I ain't playing over 60.
What did he play? 29 games last year?
29. So okay, so let's there. So the macro look at Kyrie's career over 11 seasons, he's averaged 55 games a season.
Yeah.
And he's only played over 60 games in the 11th season 4 times.
So he doesn't need to stipulate that. I don't think he needs to stipulate that in the contract.
I just want to do what I've been doing. And with Brooklyn, he's never played over 60 games.
Yeah.
He's actually averaged 35 games a season with Brooklyn. So
and he should give, like, if he should give money
34.
back.
Yes.
He should get, like, because you're getting paid for 82 and you're playing 34. So why do you want a new deal? You owe money, bro.
Yeah, no, hey, Kyrie, if you're a fan of the show and you this is not correct, feel free to let us know. You know, you can do, but that's what Rick Bucher is reporting.
I'm gonna say this. I can't imagine that he's trying to stipulate that.
Well,
I'm gonna give Kyrie, who I've been a supporter of, but not as of late. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say he didn't say that.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's saying
that's a nasty rumor.
So what he's saying is that, you know, so his response to it was very esoteric. We're letting the media control our minds, and it's time for a new paradigm shift. And I was saying that, hey, Kyrie, the paradigm shift would actually be you playing 75, 80.
I was just about to say, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Just play the freaking games, bro.
If you want to shift the paradigm.
Yeah. And then that way, with the media doesn't have to have any say in it. We'll just turn on the game and watch you play.
And it'll be like, wow, there go Kyrie going off again.
Again.
Oh, look at Kyrie. He's out there again.
70 games, 75 games, 80 games.
The paradigm is sure shifted. Kyrie.
My God. Listen, man, I'm all for the elevated, intelligent perspective and the art of the athlete, but come on.
Hey, it has been.
There's a time when it's appropriate to say, "Shut up and dribble."
Oh,
for real, I'm saying it. Shut up and dribble.
Oh, man, I was expecting to hear a lot of things this evening. That wasn't one of them.
I'm just saying.
Shut up and dribble. Well, Kyrie, I guess we'll find out in the coming weeks ahead whether or not, that was something that
if you said that, then shut up and dribble.
Yeah, if you had said
you said that. Now, if you didn't say it, then I take it off.
Well, because the reasoning was, Rick Bucher was saying now we have context to why they did not engage in max contract talk because of the demands that came in. That's the cause and effect.
Well, I think if you're a business person, I'm not giving a max contract to somebody who doesn't play max games, period.
Right. Or at least, okay, yes, but at least I can entertain it. Even if you have a history of missing games, but it's because of you wanted to play, but you just couldn't. Kyrie will wake up and just be like, I'm not playing.
Well, and if you're hurt during the season,
he'd be healthy.
And if you're hurt during the season and then you play in the playoffs where it matters, that's a different story because then you're advancing. But this team in Brooklyn hasn't advanced in the playoffs, nor has Kyrie been able, like as great as he is and as skilled as he is, he's not been able to show that can carry a team when it's on him. When he was in Cleveland, he couldn't do it. When he was in Boston, he couldn't do it. Cleveland without LeBron.
Yeah.
So he's clearly a complimentary player. And if you're a complimentary player, no matter how skilled you are, you need to be out there. Like if you just was like, okay, I'm gonna play 55 and then come back and carry us deep, that's a different story. But we've not seen that.
Yeah, if you're a complimentary player, then be complimentary. But
and allow us to compliment you on how many games you play.
There ain't no compliment if you ain't out there.
Nah,
you ain't complimenting nothing.
It's nothing.
You
said 55 games over
his entire
average
career.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah.
That is not enough games. I'm sorry. So regardless of whether you said that shit or not, the 55 games over 11 seasons is not adequate.
So he averages missing a quarter of the season
every year. Yeah. So your legs is fresh and
super
whatever.
fresh. Hey, so his his basketball years, he's probably like what?
Year 3.
20.
He's season 3. I know my math is bad, but his legs is fresh. That's what I'm saying.
Super fresh. That's why he was killing everybody when he came.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's fresh. Like he should be able to. Here's another sort of thing that is a little bit unsubstantiated. So we're gonna walk lightly with this, but it's entertaining enough. there's word and reports that Kevin Durant would consider retiring if he doesn't get his demands met by the Brooklyn ownership.
Right. So on the 8th, I guess that he met with the team governor. Was it Joe Say? Is the T silent?
Sai.
And said that, hey, it's either the GM and the coach or me.
Which I totally get,
and subsequently,
the coach is whack.
The governor came out, and the team governor came out and said, we support our staff and our coaches 100%.
They'll regret that.
And so now they're basically in a bit of a game of what you call it, chicken.
Yeah.
And I guess he's upped the ante a little bit, according to Mark Stein, who says he talked to a very high level executive at the Nets, and they were saying that the growing notion is that KD is looking at retiring before he plays. If he doesn't get traded, and he wants to get traded to Phoenix or Miami and the two other teams that are involved, Boston and Philly. But they are distant to those two teams, and so regardless, he's willing to, I guess, crash and burn whatever it is to his reputation. My question is, if you're Boston, if you're any of these teams, I don't know if I would take KD given that demand. Given the fact,
assuming that you believe that demand.
Assuming, yes, okay. So assuming that, and normally, these guys have been in this business. They normally what they report, generally speaking, like the Stephen A's, it's pretty accurate.
Well, it's no. I'm not questioning whether that report is wrong, but you can't overlook that part of a team's negotiation. The way they use their leverage is they leak stories that may not be true.
Yes.
And it's like, sources close to, and it's true, they said it, but it doesn't mean it was said.
So it doesn't, you're basically saying it doesn't mean that that's what KD said.
It doesn't mean that's what KD said.
It doesn't mean that's
I mean, teams do that all the time.
Okay, would you, if you were, Miami or Boston, would you consider trading for KD, particularly with the price?
Yeah, no question. I mean, and we've talked about this before. I think I think there's a very big difference between trading for KD and trading for Kyrie. Mm-hmm. KD is a all-time player. He's still a top 2 or 3 player in the league, and he still can make a difference on a championship caliber team. But in saying all that, I don't like the inference. If it's true, I don't like the inference. It's like, at some point, and I don't want to sound like Joey Bag of Donuts sitting on his couch, but you signed a contract.
He signed a contract to which he hasn't even played.
He hasn't played 1 minute yet.
Yet.
On top of the 164 or something like that, he signed another
extension in August that starts this year.
That starts this year for like another
194,
198. Yeah, 198.
Like bread,
basically $50 million a year
to a place that he wanted to.
The place that he chose.
To a coach that you asked for, which is Steve Nash. So Steve got to be like, God damn, dog.
Did he ask for Steve Nash?
Yeah, he lobbied for him to come. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't heard that, but again, I heard that today, and I know that sometimes these things get out there to make the player look a certain type of way and to try to steer things in. I think ultimately, I'm going to say it again. Shut up and dribble. I mean, I think that's a theme. It's like, fucking play ball, man. Like, what are we talking about? Like, okay, you asked for a trade. They're not obligated to give you one. Shut the fuck up and play.
He's trying to pull is it Adrian Dantley? Which one of those guys didn't show up when they traded for Mark Aguirre? One of those guys was like,
I think it was Adrian Dantley. Yeah.
That's an old school reference.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and you look at, and I think, here's another thing. I think that for KD to actually be doing this is pretty rich, considering the fact that you got swept in the first round. So I feel like for what you are supposed to be, you can't win. We can't win 1 or 2. Like you came up super short in the playoffs, and I feel like obviously he don't feel like he owe a city anything. He wouldn't have left KC after they relinquished the lead, 3-1 on Golden State. But man, I mean, he seems. I would have left
OKC the second I had the opportunity.
He just seems very impetuous, and I mean, it didn't seem he is impetuous.
I think he's becoming more and more so over the years. I understood when he left OKC, as much as people try to go, oh, he shouldn't have left, but it's the NBA's smallest market. I wouldn't have wanted to play with Westbrook. I mean, I said it then, not say it now. I don't think you're ever going to win a championship with him. I don't care who you are. He got out of there and he got to a place that could pay him close to the max or the max deal, and it was a good competitive team, and they happened to be one that had won 73 games. But they were the best. They were the best team that he could go to that had the cap room to fit him in. They didn't even have to do a sign and trade. I think they could just sign him.
No, they just totally.
They just had the money,
which was interesting because Golden State's legacy, their whole thing is built off of what I would consider to be injuries, right? And the foundation of it is Steph's injury. Because if had he not gotten hurt,
he'd have been traded to Milwaukee.
But I'm saying had he not gotten hurt and played well, he would have got a max deal, and they wouldn't have had the room to sign him.
Yeah,
which is like totally one of those.
But I actually saw this. I don't know if you could believe this on TikTok, but that there was a time when Milwaukee moved to get that he was going to be included in a trade to Milwaukee.
I did not know that,
and that they took Monte Ellis.
Monte Ellis could hoop.
Yeah, he wasn't no Steph Curry, but he could ball.
I thought he ended up playing with the Pacers for a little while.
He might have. But once he left Golden State, it was kind of like he was there, but
he was getting buckets.
Yeah, he was like he was one of them LA Fitness guys.
No way.
Yeah, as long as I'm saying as long as winning is not what you're after.
No, he ain't Curry, he ain't LeBron.
I'm saying, but there are guys whose games fit into a winning strategy, and there's guys who can hoop in games that don't matter. And Monte Ellis was one of those guys.
It's Monte. Monta.
Monte, yeah. Monte Ellis.
From Mississippi Bullet.
Yeah.
What is that? Mississippi. Oh, that's his nickname. Mississippi Bullet.
Yeah.
That's a terrible. A white man gave him that name. The Mississippi Bullet.
If you from Mississippi, you shouldn't be trying to admit it. You should be trying to shake it off.
No, you
you should be trying to shake off Mississippi.
In his defense, no one knew that, so maybe he did.
Yeah, you actually letting people know. I didn't know he was from Mississippi.
The Mississippi Bullet.
Here's something that I want to talk about before we get to some football here. So Draymond Green got married. Over the past weekend.
I didn't even know you were going to bring this up.
And it just I'm gonna go old school, get off my porch guy. I'm gonna go there. He's at his wedding, and LeBron's there, and Tatum's there, and this guy's gone on a tour of killing the Celtics, killing Tatum. These are the guys that kept you from where you're trying to go and will try to keep you. Why are you at their wedding? Why are you at Draymond's wedding?
You're saying that Tatum, why is Tatum there?
Why is Tatum and LeBron at Draymond's wedding?
Because I
hate that shit.
Well, because I think Draymond has come out and said as much as that we were never gonna. I won't say never, but we weren't gonna beat LeBron without KD, and I think that. And he said that on his podcast.
That doesn't mean. What does that have to do with him coming to the wedding? What does that even mean?
What I'm saying is that. Well,
what does that mean?
Well, what I'm saying is, I think he acknowledges that, we had to create the best team in the history of the earth.
What does that have to do with this wedding?
So I think that because a lot of people they walking around
friends?
and they're like, nah, we had to do that, dog, because you're that dope. And you give me that acknowledgement, I think that's a great fertile foundation to be.
You know what the only acknowledgement is we won and you lost. When did that ever stop being the acknowledgement?
I think.
And if I beat you, we not friends.
I think,
unless we were friends before.
I think, back when I think back when guys were making, it was a big deal to make $1 million in a year. Yeah, probably. But these guys are making hundreds of millions of dollars.
I get that point.
What we got to be mad about?
No, I get that point between Otto Porter and some other guy like that, because Otto's not the reason you win or lose.
Why you fit him in this?
Because I can't stand that dude.
Otto Porter.
Because Otto Porter is the poster child of guys that make a ton of money.
And when y'all got Otto Porter, I thought it was a good move too. I was like,
I did too. Except for he never wanted to play, but he liked to be in the clubs with the white girls. But that's neither here nor there.
Hey, we love white girls.
I'm not even saying nothing about it. I'm just saying it looked like he only like that.
All our white female listeners. I will go to the club with you.
I don't have no issue. All I'm saying, it looked like he was singling them out. That's all I'm saying.
Some Andre Drummond stuff.
Yeah, it's no, not you. You, no. Could you Get that out of here, please.
This is my friend Keisha. Can she get in the limo with us? Nah, Keisha.
It's kind of full. We're kind of full here.
There's plenty of space. There's actually not expecting some. We got to go to the next one. Pick up some other.
Anyway, listen, here's what I don't think is going to happen. I don't think Larry Bird's coming to Magic's wedding. I don't think Isaiah's coming to Michael's wedding. I don't think Mikhail's going to Patrick Ewing's wedding. It's like, come on, man.
Hey, man.
Come on, man.
Different
this
time.
AAU bullshit, I'm tired of it.
These guys play with each other and around the United States, and they have a good
This group of guys, did Jason Tatum play with LeBron? No. Jason Tatum's like 21 years old.
But you know what they do, though? These guys play on LeBron's teams. They play on his AAU team. They play.
I don't care.
But what I'm saying, they have relationships with them.
I was a promised kid. He fed me from his pantry. The fuck out of here.
Like, I think, I'm going to mess this up, but there's a picture with Tatum, I believe, either with Curry or LeBron or somebody.
No, I think is it KD?
Oh,
it's one of the old heads.
So it's like, you know, these guys you come to my camp.
But what did Drake say when your idols become your rivals? Like, can we get to what Drake said? Can we live by Drizzy's words?
No, I like it better this way. I like it better this way, man. I don't want you guys like that's basketball, man. It ain't even your teams.
No, listen, I'm cool
like
with
y'all don't own them teams.
No, I get that, and I get it.
Let's get some business.
If our paths don't cross, like if I play in Charlotte, I'm LaMelo, and I go to the wedding. Y'all don't have no beef. Y'all don't have no rivalry. This man beat you 3 weeks ago.
He did.
And now you at his wedding.
Yeah,
drinking his champagne, eating his cake,
eating
his chicken breasts,
getting the white glove service.
My God. Anyways, I'm done with this. We gotta bring it back to something.
No, we don't.
We gotta bring it back.
Keep it going. Let's keep black people not angry with each other. At all times.
No, listen. I'm not saying you don't have to be cordial, but a wedding is personal.
That's right.
That's not your friend.
You don't know that. Well, obviously, they are friends.
I don't know that. I don't know that. Maybe they are friends.
They're definitely pals.
But I just think,
hey, Rich Paul was there. Like they was. I
just think we at the point where
that didn't look like
everybody
fun.
Everybody want to be over at LeBron's crib. Everybody want to be at Curry's. Everybody want to be at Chris Paul's.
Curry don't even be out like that.
Nah, but everybody want to be like, we out.
It don't look like a good time to you. I want to be over there.
Yeah, if we aligned,
we aligned
in the music business.
I got the invite. We're aligned.
In the music business, I'm not with everybody. It's competitive. Everybody not together. I never been over at L.A. Reid's house and Jimmy and Terry walked in.
Hey, if I know that was a beef, but if y'all could drop that now, y'all both awesome, man. Jimmy, pick up the phone.
No, I mean, was there a beef? It was a spirited competitiveness, but they weren't they didn't consider themselves I don't think they considered it maybe now at this advanced age in their careers and whatnot, but I don't think they were trying to be buddies at the time when they were competing for chart position.
That's my point. I think they should have been like, yo, let's all get together and do a record.
No, let's not. Let's
Babyface, Jimmy, and Terry all get in the room. Y'all should make one now.
I think they actually did.
The four of them?
Yeah.
What record?
I don't know.
I'm talking about a song.
I think they did something.
They did. They worked on a song together.
I don't know.
Like all four of them in the same room.
I'm gonna have to check that, but I feel like there was an attempt.
That'd be like a genius overload.
Nah, it'd be an overload, and the genius wouldn't.
With Face and Terry trying to write lyrics.
Yeah, it would be crazy. Be weird. It'd be weird. Like they don't. Nah, sometimes
who's gonna tell the other one that ain't hot? Like this.
That's what I'm saying. Like you don't belong on the same team. You play against each other. It's Magic. It's Magic and Larry.
Can you stand the rain? Right.
It's Magic and Larry, man.
Hey,
listen.
I wrote.
I want to touch on a couple things really quickly here before we get out. Alabama, AP #1 again. I don't know, for the 15th time in 13 years. I don't know what the numbers are, but it was an extraordinary amount of time of them being the sort of preseason #1 team. Listen, they've earned that. You can say what you want about Alabama, but that is a preeminent program. Nobody does it better, from recruiting to facilities, all on-field coaching and development. Very rarely, and I know some people will push back on this because there have been some guys that haven't panned out as big in the NFL. Some of the guys that went high, but they develop when you walk on there. If you walk on there a 5-star, 4-star, you come out of there as a NFL draft pick. And I think that's what, whether you turn Hall of Fame or not, that's a whole nother conversation. But they don't take talent and waste it.
Right.
There's a reason that they're the preseason number one many years.
Yeah, they definitely, and it's so the AP came out right. It's by this recording today.
Yeah, today. Yeah.
So is it Georgia number 3? I think Ohio State number 2. They always get on my nerves with why are they there? Jeez. And they always there, and they always end up losing one Big Ten game, and then they get in the playoffs and they get waxed in, but they always up there. Always.
That doesn't always
Stop
happen.
putting them up. You can put Cincinnati up there. Put somebody else up there with them. They always, Ohio State is consistently in the top 5 preseason rankings, and
who would you rather have be there?
Anybody else? Give anybody. Put LSU up there. Put Cincinnati up there. Put anybody else up there who's going to.
But you don't think they deserve the position?
No,
why?
Not ever. Because they end up playing. They start off who they end up. So who they lost the first game last year against Oregon.
Yeah.
They stay doing that. They always lose one. Then they play that weak schedule in the Big Ten. They play. Oh, they beat Indiana. Oh, they beat Northwestern. Oh, they be playing Northwestern in the Big Ten championship. And then they win it. It's like, we're in. And then they end up getting dealt with. It's like y'all always do, like Michigan did last year. It's like, stop with the stop. Until they do something.
I think they're
number 11.
They're one of the top programs in the country. They're there for a reason.
Clearly one of the top programs in the country. I would never, and they always send really good guys to the NFL.
Great players.
And great players, yes. Yeah. But stop it with the 2.
Well, here's I think the bigger issue is, and I think Notre Dame's 5 on the coaches poll at NAP, but I don't think any of the preseason rankings matter not at all. I don't even know why we have preseason rankings. I honestly don't.
I think so we can do this.
But I don't. But honestly, I don't care because everybody's got to line up and play their schedule. And in the beginning of the season, everybody has one real game, and then you're going to line up a bunch of gimmies until October. And then once you put a couple games in, and then we'll come out with the real thing. And I think that's the real rankings based on what you've done after 6 or 7 games.
When would you give the first ranking after what?
When they do? Like when did they come out with the
BCS?
Yeah, it's not BCS anymore, but the college football. Yeah, I like that.
CFP.
Like what? Because what difference is all the rest of it? Like the rest of the stuff is just.
But how do you
sit in a room going? I think they're better than them.
How do you get somebody in the top 4 if they're in the ranking going into that?
Because the rankings going into that have nothing to do with the coaches poll or AP.
Up and down. So you're saying that. So where are they getting their numbers from?
They're getting their numbers from the games they've won.
So they have a secret. They have a secret.
They're doing what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
Except for they have 7 games that they could watch to base their opinion.
But where are they getting?
But right now they have nothing.
Getting their ranking from somewhere.
They're making the ranking at that time, like they're doing right now.
So
where are they getting their ranking from right now?
So you feel like so when they come out with that, what week do they come out with that in?
I want to say it's like week 7 or 8 somewhere. It's like late October.
So for you, week 7 or 8.
Yeah, like get half the season in and
see what y'all. We gonna see what y'all do.
Well, because my thing is this: like I understand the way it used to be, where it was like AP dudes, gumshoes, or whatever. They used to, with the hat and the pen in their ear, decided who was going to win the championship.
I don't like that, but
no, and I mean nobody did. It was
gumshoe. That's the low level detective.
But they're sitting there with their, with their in the press box with their hats and going Notre Dame and we won a lot of stuff off of that. But to me, let the games play. And then, use your eyes based upon actual things you've seen. Like when people start going, he's first team preseason all conference. It's like he hasn't played. The fuck are we talking about?
I like it.
But what are we really talking about? You're judging it on somebody who hasn't played.
No, but okay, so I'm not. I agree with you. I still like it. Is all the only thing I'm saying. I'm like, what are we doing? Okay, so you go. Okay, Stetson Bennett's returning. I think C.J. Stroud's returning. the quarterback from Alabama's returning. You look at how the starters that are coming back. What are they? Okay, so based on those compensating factors, we're going to put this team here, and so they just it's kind of obviously an inexact science.
Yeah.
And I know you already know that, but I'm simply saying.
And I think I'm saying it more to the fact that if the season ended with those same people prognosticating and then moving things around accordingly, I would say yes. But it doesn't happen like that. The people who are ultimately making the decision are the 13 or 14 people that sit in that room who determine the playoffs, not the coaches poll and not the Associated Press.
But those rankings do play a part, right? Because when you look at you go, okay, when they start to vote, they go, okay, will this team beat the number one team, or they beat this team, or they beat that team?
No, they don't.
And they also go off conference championships, which don't have anything to do with the records.
At the end.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, up until that point, when they go into the room, they're building the 25 based solely on what they've watched.
How many people are part of that process?
I want to say like somewhere between 12 and 15.
I would like to be a part of that.
I think there's a lot of people who could and should. I don't always love the room.
Yeah, that's why I need to be in there.
But they rotate the room a little bit.
Oh, is Condoleezza Rice still in there? She was a member of the first committee.
I didn't have a problem with her being in there.
Me neither.
Yeah. I didn't have an issue.
Me neither. I think she was a big time college football fan.
Yeah, and I think you want someone who is. I mean, everyone.
No, in fact,
everyone went somewhere, but you want people who understand the importance of being impartial.
Not only was I not against it, I was actually pretty pumped that she got in there.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
Yeah, but like to me, I think we need more teams in the playoffs.
16 is coming.
Yeah, no, and it's coming because it's to their benefit. But it's like this whole idea, we want the regular season to matter. It's 120 some odd teams. It's 16 spots. The regular season is still going to matter.
It's going to matter big time.
Yeah, and I know that sort of the prevailing argument is 16 is never going to beat 1 and 15 is never going to beat 2, and you're probably right. But who cares?
I disagree with that. Obviously, most times the 16th seed.
And anything is not going to beat the one.
It's not going to beat in maybe the NCAA, meaning the basketball tournament. But when you talk about a team that may be clicking at the right time, getting a quarterback back healthy, or a number of different factors, because injury. And what we do know is in college football, 2 losses will kill you.
Yeah,
you ain't gonna be in that top 4 with 2 losses.
No.
So this gives those guys an opportunity now. Obviously under normal circumstances. You play that game, 10 times out of 10, they may win once, maybe 10%.
Yeah. But less than that.
But I'm excited about it.
Yeah, no, and I'm watching.
Or do they get a bye? Do 1, 2?
Yeah, there'll probably be some sort of bye situation. But even still, like those lower seeds initially are not going to beat. But I beat the higher seeds. But the thing that I love about like one and done anything, when you put something on the line, you get elevated performances. And sometimes that elevated performance may not result in an upset, but it results in a very entertaining game. We've seen a lot of 15-2 games, 16-1 games that have gone down in the NCAA tournament, that have gone down to the wire, where that number one team prevails, but it took a real effort because that other team came out on some one shining moment shit.
And not only that, but you also get, and it'll have a similar effect, I believe, like the NCAA tournament. You get a guy like CJ McCollum coming in, performing. I believe they beat Duke, Lehigh University, and and you get that primetime spot where nobody knows who this kid is.
Right.
That he comes out and plays well against a blue blood. You can get that same situation where you may get, let's say, like a Utah, who not a lot of people get a chance to see Mountain West games. Are they still in the Mountain West?
They're in the Pac-10 now. Pac-12.
Utah State, both of them are in there?
Utah is.
Okay, so you get so let's say Utah State is in the Mountain West. You get a team like that who maybe not a lot of people have seen their games, getting a chance to play Alabama. You get a kid to go off. Now all of a sudden a kid that may have been looking at as a free agent. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden he's a 5th, 6th round pick, and he's built a name for himself. And you get a chance to get a chance to get seen, and I think that's good for college football. It's good for everyone.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Or even imagine like this would be going back some years, but like a Khalil Mack at Buffalo. Yeah, getting in a game, you know what I'm saying? Just on some random, getting,
5 sacks.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like
that guy.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, who's watching? I ain't seen a Buffalo game.
No.
Actually, I did watch one time with the running backs they have, the Patterson guy.
Oh yeah, because you're a daily fantasy player.
Yes.
Yeah. Couple more things here. The bad luck for the Jets continue. They've lost their left tackle, Becton.
I didn't even know that.
And
I was thinking about Zach Wilson the whole time.
And now they've lost their quarterback. I think they actually caught a break in that he did not have a torn ACL, but he has a bone bruise and a torn meniscus, and they're going in to see how that injury is. I think they sort of prematurely said, oh, it's going to be 6 to 8 weeks, but I don't think they know that. He went down, non-contact injury. It looks serious.
No, right now the reports that just came out, it's 2 to 4 weeks.
It's 2 to 4?
Yeah.
After this, he's had the surgery?
Hold on, let's see, Zach. Just 1 second. Because I looked at it before I came in here. Yeah, Zach Wilson. 2 to 4 weeks. There you go. 2 hours ago is what we want.
That's great. 2 to 4 weeks is great for them.
Well, so I would, but
that's
I would,
catching a break considering what it looked like when he went down.
Well, yes, because obviously non-contact is the worst.
Yeah.
But I think so. Yeah, Zach Wilson. Yeah, 2 to 4 weeks. So what we're looking at, what I think is, let's just say it's a little longer. Let's say it is. You're missing
2-3 games.
The Baltimore game. Mm-hmm. You weren't gonna win that game, no way.
Mm-hmm. They're not gonna win that many games anyway.
Exactly. So you weren't going, but I don't want with the blitz happy Baltimore. Then you got the second game, I believe, is Cleveland with Myles Garrett. I don't really want him dealing with none of that either.
No, I mean,
and then the Bengals, and then I believe their fourth game is against the Steelers. So
a lot of pass
if he can come on back in, the fifth game is against the Dolphins. That's
might be
nice.
the softest.
You come on in and we start here, and that's where your story will be.
Man, lost in all of the I know
and Flacco gets another chance.
Yeah, I know we all saw him go down, but the thing that nobody's talking about is the pick six he threw in that game, picking up where he left off last year, and I hear all the time. It's like, my God. Like if Justin Fields throws an incomplete pass in practice, it's all over Twitter, and nobody's talking about the fact that this Zach Wilson guy was taken second in the draft, showed little to nothing last year, and picked up right where he left off with a pick six. But we'll give him an opportunity to make good in his second year with all of these second-year quarterbacks. But to me, the Jets made a mistake in drafting him. I'm happy that they did because I think it was to the benefit of my team.
You think y'all would have taken him?
What's that?
You think you would have taken?
No. I'm saying I'm glad they decided not to take. I think Justin Fields should have went higher, and I think he should have fell. But I'm glad they decided that he was the goods.
Yeah, so I was listening to Garrett Wilson talk about the differences between the two. And he said that Flacco's ball is a more catchable ball, and he was like, you could tell the difference in between. He said he knows how. He said when we're running an out, he puts a lot more pace on the ball. He's like, when I'm running slants, he's like, it's a much more catchable ball. You feel like you can get out and go with it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting for him to even say anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, but he didn't say he was happy, but he seems to be a happier pass catcher.
Well, here's the thing I'm going to say is that because you and I both watch a lot of college football, and I liked Zach at BYU last year. What I don't like is how, and maybe I don't know if this is the media hype, I don't know what sort of goes into this, but you get this groundswell that push the certain guys to the top. I never thought he was anywhere near the best player in the draft. To me, he was like a late first if you're putting a premium on a quarterback. But to me, he was like a second round guy. Mm-hmm. He felt like a second round guy with a little bit of upside. Like Trubisky, who manages to get in the show. There was never a moment when I watched him at North Carolina where I was going, this is a first round quarterback.
No.
There was not 1 second.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? But you get this, you get guys that are just elevating. Daniel Jones is another one of those guys where you're going, there was never a moment where Daniel Jones looked like anything higher than a third round pick. And then they get pushed up, and then they get expectations. I'm like, y'all know these guys are doing what I would anticipate. They're having growing pains, which you would think would happen with a third round quarterback.
Right. And you looked at, and if you looked at like Kenny Pickett looked more comfortable than Daniel Jones. This man
after one start. Same with Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Trey Lance, and I know Trey didn't play a lot. I didn't watch him a lot, and he didn't play a lot in college, but he's just a guy who looks like he understands how to play the position. Like some of these guys look like they're a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, and then Daniel Jones' defense, if there was a defense. Joe Judge didn't do that boy no favors. So he came into a situation that I think, but it's still about you. Like there you can go to any little league field, high school, college. You look at some guys and they just look like I'm ready for
I play ball.
Yeah, I do this. And obviously he's done this. He was at Duke up under David Cutcliffe, had some decent years there, but he was still splitting time with another quarterback.
Decent years at Duke. Yes. He was at Duke.
Gosh, I forgot. He was splitting time with a brother.
And let's be honest. Like Cutcliffe, in many ways, is still living off
the Manning,
the original man.
No, Eli. He played well, didn't he? Didn't Cutcliffe? Didn't he?
Was Cutcliffe?
He was a head coach, wasn't he?
At Ole Miss.
At Ole Miss, yeah, he was the head coach.
Eli's about to go in the Hall of Fame. That's a long time ago.
Let me make sure.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
I think that's why he chose Ole Miss.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like Cutcliffe is, he comes to the Manning passing camp.
Yeah, he was head coach there from 98 to 2004.
And listen, I think that, and I get this. I get this is like if you were a Jackson in music, you would get the benefit of the music doubt. You know what I mean? Like, okay, he's Michael's nephew. He must be okay.
Like Randy and the Gypsies.
I think anybody associated with Eli and Peyton gets the benefit of the doubt, and that includes Cutcliffe, and that includes Arch Manning. I don't think Arch Manning is. I think their nephew, who plays at the same Newman High School that they went to in Louisiana, going to Texas. I don't think he's the best guy coming out in this draft, let alone the best quarterback.
Oh, in the high school.
I mean, in the class of 2023.
But would you? Okay, what about? Do you think Cooper Manning could be better than Daniel Jones?
Cooper didn't play quarterback.
I know he played receiver. Yeah. But, I mean, just saying off of the residue.
I mean,
you think Cooper,
Archie today. I might not go Cooper, but I might say 69-year-old or 71-year-old Archie might be better. You
invite him in and you say it's an open quarterback competition.
It'll be close. I'll put it that way. I think Archie still got some throws left in him. Lastly, before we get out of here, let me just look right in the camera here, because I'm frustrated with the Chicago Bears coming off like a small market team. And I understand we're in a rebuild. I get that. But there's never a time when we have an injury or we look to fill, our spots with a decent player. Not necessarily a guy that's going to make a difference, but, you're trying to fill holes. But I'm going to give Ryan Poles his opportunity to fix this team. But I want us to move to Arlington Heights so that we can get a real facility. The team can rake some real money so we can sign real free agents and act like a major market team. One of the reasons that I would like to go to Arlington Heights is already, we haven't even played one game yet, and the Soldier Field turf is in the worst condition. I don't know if y'all saw the game, but it literally looked like it was mid-December. It looked like they had been playing high school games, college games, pro games, all sorts. Ain't nobody played no football yet this year. This is the first game on it, and the field's tore up. It's in terrible condition. The NFLPA has had to file an official complaint about the condition of the field. This is the Chicago Bears. Now, for those that y'all don't know, this team does not own the stadium. The Chicago Park District owns the stadium and treats it like a Park District field. They treat it like they might, like it was like a Little League field, like a Pop Warner field. It's terrible. I'm angry because it's embarrassing. it's embarrassing around football that we don't even have field turf. We still out there playing on bad grass. And you can't tell me it's the weather, because in Green Bay, where it's colder and the weather's worse, they have beautiful turf that never gets torn up.
Yeah, they have the coils underneath the field.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
You could put hot steak under that shit for all I care. It keep the field in good condition.
When Lovey was there, the field was in good condition. Just
it wasn't. It actually wasn't.
It was in great condition.
It wasn't.
And the team played great.
The team played great, but the field was never in good condition.
So Lovey, shout out to you for your horticulture skills.
Yeah, I don't know if Lovey had anything to do with that. And Lovey's back in Houston, so you'll be able to root for him all you want. I know when he was in Chicago, that was your guy. Let's see if he, I don't know if he was your guy in Tampa. I don't know if he was your guy when he went to Champaign-Urbana and coached for the University of Illinois. But now he's back in the league coaching the Houston Texans.
Did he shave that dumbass beard off? That white dumbass beard he had on, looking like a fake black ass Santa Claus?
That's your guy.
Like, that was terrible. It was not when he had that beard though in Illinois.
I just got a really weird thought. Lovey,
I'm ready.
I hope Lovey's not no Trump supporter.
Oh,
Lovey has Trump supporter.
I wasn't.
He's giving me Trump supporter.
I wasn't expecting that on the show today.
It just happened.
Hey, Trump supporters, please continue to support our show.
No, support our show. I wouldn't want that for Lovey. I want that for you. Yeah. You might want that for yourself. I'm not judging, but I wouldn't want that for Lovey.
Hey, but Lovey, if you do support Trump, I'd be disappointed. I'll just say that. I'm gonna Google this when we get off the air, and then I'll be back with a quick hitter if I find out you do. So, well, listen, I'm gonna take this opportunity to close out. Thank y'all for checking in with us again. Really quick, like, subscribe, hit the notification buttons on YouTube. Follow us at statlinesmatter, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and the other one, TikTok, and find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and any place that you get your podcasts. So on behalf of my partner here, Rob Hunter Jr., and on behalf of everybody here at Stat Lines Matter, we out. Peace.
Bad boy. I ain't come for games. Say it to my face. Say it to my face. I ain't come for games. Say it to my face. Say it to my face.